AoE damage when the Rakan is in play. Oaks always talks about this as well, but...
Nasus.
I need a moment. Because I'm baffled. We've seen the Nasus specifically as a counter pick into the cannon.
Some new tricks as we hop onto the Rift for Game 1 of Gen G versus Humble Life Esports.
Early arrest, which is very effective, as we see the Scorch, as well as the mana flow ban, so no surprises.
Just trying to weather the storm as best as possible. And Peanut here towards the top side, seeing what he can get done. The hop is good, and Doran will have the Mega Gnar available. Gets the wallop down as well as Keen. He might be able to flash it, but he does not go for it, as there is first blood going over to Peanut. Two of these down. It looks like Peanut might be able to sneak one away, though. Definitely good news into this
Level 6.
Yeah, level 6 going to be gained here by Peanut, and Canyon realizing that he just has to get out of there. Spear not going to connect either, as Chovy could be solo killed, but the Buster Shot is going to keep him alive. Keen moving on in, does have Fury of the Sands, but it looks to me like it's going to be 3 grubs going over to Humble Life Esports, and they are really controlling this early game.
A bit of a more laid-back approach, and more mistakes start slipping in, and this might be one of those, as Peanut still has his ult, still has Flash.
Yep, Rocket's coming out. Zeka does not have a whole lot of mana, but he doesn't need it to auto attack. Still just going to flash on over. Gatling gun at the ready, and that is a second kill for Humble. One of those players that lets you get away with that almost ever. And so right now, the jungle does kind of belong to him. You can see decent lead being built for Doran towards the top side of the map as well, as you can see, almost towards his Trinity Force. Keen still a decent ways away from that. First Drake will go over to Gen G.
Stages in the game, which is where Gen G has generally done well, as Doran.
Yeah, Wither is already down on top of him. Fury of the Sand, so the Keen to tank up this turret, and he's going to grab some stacks.
Zeka is just dunking on Chovy right now. He's, we'll see, Peanut.
Oh, there's the Glacial Prison. The buffer is gorgeous. The flash is going to come out. They get everything out of Chovy, but he does survive. As Lahens is like, I am here. And that is going to help allow Chovy to pick up this experience and farm underneath the turret. Very nicely done. Canyon going to even out the grubs, and Gen G kind of coming alive.
Right now, that's not the case. Just need to respect, because they don't know where Peanut is. I wonder what the trade is going to be here, because as I say that, look at Chovy. I think they know that this Herald is being taken, and immediately Gen G fully committing to the cross map here.
Yeah, everyone is in this bottom side of the map. Lahens already cleared out whatever vision was in the area.
This is just going to be gone, isn't it?
Yep, he can give the Primal Surge over to Chovy. And
one more wave. Oh, do they need one more wave?
Well, I think if they are going to stick around and try and take it, no, they're not going to even. Now Extendo Beam going to be avoided here by Pays. Should be able to hold on to this mid wave. As you can see, the charge is still going to come through, and the turret will be taken out. So the Rift Herald is traded for first turret blood, but is still able to grab a turret for themselves. So Humble Life Esports will hold on to a small gold lead, and Peanut is also possibly able to take this dragon away as well.
Yeah, this is definitely a favorable trade for Humble Life, right? They're able to, yes, the gold isn't as ideal, but mid lane turret is way more valuable than a bot lane turret is, and they're going to get the dragon as well. Keen is going to get this. I don't really think there's anything that we can do about that. And that means that he's going to get a lot of gold into the pockets.
Finish off his cull. Certainly good news, but he's going even with a Nasus, and that often feels bad if you're not the Nasus. As now Lahens could be in trouble. Speaking of feeling bad, he is going to be taken out here. Permafrost a little bit too powerful, and Viper has delivered his first kill of the game. Healing reduction there is going to be from Humble Life Esports. Not exactly going to be very many Oblivion Orbs picked up, as now Canyon not quite finding the spear. As Chovy is taking a red buff, Peanut is going to move on to Vision. And I just don't know whether he wants to try and fight the Blade of the Ruin King Chovy right now, as Doran could be in trouble. Spear is going to go wide, but look at the Q damage. It is ridiculous, and Doran does hit the Mega Gnar, but Canyon's still going to be able to pounce on top of him. Viper trying to fight this one out as the Fury of the Sands has already come through, but Keen is a monster. And he isn't going to be going down anytime soon. Canyon once again looking for these angles as the inner turret is going to get bonked. So yeah, Keen is very, very close to finishing that Frozen Heart. That is going to be available for this fight if he does want to teleport back in for it. But probably just going to stick around as Peanut Going to get possibly caught out a little bit here. He is very tanky with the Frost Armor and the Aftershock as he looks for the Glacial Prison. Connected here as they just blow up Lehens. Not going to have their Rel available for this fight. Canyon going to miss another spear as well as Chovy's taking the enemy blue buff. Of course he is. And they might just be giving this one up.
Oh, I was just thinking about this. Look at the spikes on Anwa as well. 2-item spike for Corki, 2-item spike for this area as well.
Yep, spears are still coming in though. Keen is still very scary. Teleport to come down now for the Gnar as Peanut. He's really low. That is going to be the steal away by Canyon. They're going to try and focus Keen, but I don't know whether that's a good idea as that's another kill. And now Chovy, it's flashing forward, finds another reset. There's another one as the double comes in. 280 carries left remaining for Home Alive Esports. They've got no one to stand behind and somehow Gen.G just decide to win.
And Lehens, he might have slept through the alarm for this one. Not really woken up just yet, but the rest of the team, Atlas, they are very much awake, and they turn okay. They turn a pick on Lehens into a dragon, a one-team fight, and a Baron. That's not fair. Dragon goes over. And then Doran is alone in the pit. Pace had a really good zoning.
Bullet time, yeah.
Yeah, and no, they don't have any cooldowns left to stop him. And then, yeah, Chovy smells blood in the water and shows us some Tristana.
A sidestep on the grand entrance at the beginning of that.
Yeah, I don't mind it.
I don't mind it either.
Or as you already mentioned, and not only, funnily enough, it's not only the healing that you do yourself, right? The lifesteal, but it's also Canyon's heal.
Yep.
That's like a lot of value there. And yeah, now they're sieging with a poke comp, and they can just Spirit Fire. They can use these Nidalee spears.
And Delight cannot face check. He is going to get a ward in there, but that is immediately going to get blown up. And Gen.G are going to do their very best to try and suffocate them out here as Keen's going to flash the Glacial Prison. Peanut is still looking for more, but taking so much damage from Pays. Lehens and Chovy trying to get themselves over as Home Alive realizing this is not their angle to fight right now. And Gen.G, based on this, just get free reign to head towards this mid lane, and they are just going to continue to try and zone them from the area. Canyon chasing Delight out of there. And Gen.G, can they get even more? Is this just going to be an inhibitor turret going down already? The Rebel Brown power play already up to 2.3k as Keen, Fury of the Sands, comes out, and the Battle Dance has to be employed. Gen.G, they will be able to take down that turret. This was all because they moved on in when they didn't really have the ability to do so. Doran's going to go down as well. The inhibitor's taken out. And without Doran, is this going to be even more sieging for Gen.G? It's only 24 minutes in, guys.
Insanely strong. But I gotta say, Atlas, you can't make any mistakes against Gen.G, and I'm alive for learning that. Canyon might have to flash me. No,
he's just going to turn around and activate some red buff here onto Peanut.
I used to vote for a Nessus. I'm taking it.
Oh, yeah.
I had Neferi earlier today.
We voted for Clear when he played Nasus, right? That time in Challenger, so obviously we're going to do it here. Unfortunately, Morgan didn't win when he played it earlier in the season as Peanut's going to go down. That is going to be another kill over to Chovy as Viper takes so much damage. My God, Keen stands in the front. He does a ton of damage himself, but then he's got the artillery cannons in the backline as Chovy's dancing forward. He'll find the reset on the jump as now Doran not going to hit Mega in time. The immediate explosion of both the Corki and the Gnar. 2 Yordles for the price of 1 when it comes to that ultimate. And this game is done and dusted. Gen.G our favorites for the final, and they are looking absolutely like that in game 1 of our final match of the season. There goes the Nexus. Gen.G go up 1-0 in the series. Don't kill Lehens and think that you can then take a dragon because of it. I know it looks like Lehens is a large portion of this team's engage, but that's not actually how that works, apparently. Apparently, Nasus... few engage angles.
If they didn't go for Cannon, I think we could have seen something more creative from Lehens. But specifically into Cannon, I think Alistair just has so much value.
Yeah,
between what most likely will be the exhaust, combine that with the fact that you can just headbutt him away. So that's enough to get him to do 0.
Exactly. Let's jump into the rift. Game 2. Quantity is definitely B&K. But what you gonna do? Teams have made very...
Had to bring it up.
Hey, look, I wonder if Gen.G are gonna pick T1 just to prove a point. Maybe that happens. And then they're like, CKT, it's fine. and then they lose too. Oh my goodness,
I don't
it'd
even
be
think
incredible.
that one is that egregious. Is Keen? Yeah, I was about to say, just going to E out of this. Going to be fine. But we have both junglers trying to sneak away as much as they can. On the side of the jungle that doesn't necessarily belong to them. Canyon towards the bot side, as we do obviously have the lane swap. We haven't mentioned it just yet. And Ziggs, to me, as we have mentioned many a time on this broadcast, obviously should try to maximize the amount of plates. And guess what? The big wave stacking up towards the top side of the map. But Peanut can steal away very effectively. Smite's almost up.
Yeah, should be able to grab this one as Canyon going down pretty low. Keen will join them as there's the flash out from Canyon. Well timed there as well. Doesn't get stunned up as Lahens. He's going to have to flash as well.
Cookie's still available. Lands level 1 right now.
Yeah, Hex Flash activation as well, guys. We have to remember. So he's already powered up. Delight moving over. We'll finally get down towards the bottom lane. Just checks out this brush for a few seconds, but it looks like they have just bought enough time as Peanut is making friends with Canyon's side of the jungle right now. As this controller does go in, they get full information as to what's going on here. Going to take a little bit of time for that friendship to really sink into these camps. Might give Canyon an opportunity to get in there, but Smite is up here for Peanut. And so whichever is going to be contested, might just be able to take that one down. And look at this, Canyon is actually just leaving the area.
Yeah, successful high start from Canyon. You see Peanut as well. It's like, oh,
aha.
So he doesn't have a lot of mana, and Peanut is in the area.
Yep, there are a lot of brushes now behind Gen G, as Pei's going to try and utilize them, now just waddling his way out of here. Headbutt will be able to get rid of Peanut, but this is also just going to be so many minions going missing.
Oh, Pei's?
Oh, Pei's not going to find the satchel, unfortunately. Bowling Ball going to connect onto Peanut, as Lahan's still going to burn down. And Delight comes on in here just to try and protect his tree. Humble Life, they grab themselves first blood, and Peanut's out of there.
I'm going to let that fool us, Atlas. We've seen this one before.
Yeah, we don't necessarily know whether this means anything, but it definitely means, at the very least, that Humble Life Esports are very good at navigating good early games. Not to mention, they're very good at playing around Ivern compositions. This is another one of the worries, right? Because Peanut, when he gets this champ, he tends to look pretty good on that mandatory bans list that we often state for this team. So playing against Humble Life Esports when you're on the red side just gets that, that little bit harder. Now, Canyon going to be taking the first grub. Peanut in position. Arrow going to be soaked by the Alistair that doesn't have Unbreakable Will just yet. There's Delight going in. Finds Lahens, lights him on fire, but I think that he will be able to get out of there. One grub picked up here by Gen G. And I think they're going to have to be happy with that. Keen thinking about moving back towards the top side, instead going to go for a little bit of a back beforehand.
On the flip side, we'll be able to pick up this dragon, which is, I think, a fine trade. Given how the last game played out, they do need to hurry up. Peanut's on his way.
He is just going to lankily move on in here. That is going to be the Drake secured by Chovy somehow. As Delight gets the angle. Chovy going to have to flash over. The steadfast presence is so good from this Poppy. And Zeka is going to be able to get himself the second kill for Humble Life Esports. Lahens might just need to sacrifice himself. Does invest the flash. And will be able to buy enough time to get them out of there.
Yeah, before he has to use it immediately.
Value, baby.
As some Daisy micro doesn't actually get the cancel, unfortunately, there for Peanut. And really nice.
Oh, Keen, unfortunately, got a kind of caught on a flash there a little bit. He's going to press his Dominus, and it just has flash on cooldown now. It looks a little silly.
I missed what I imagine he tried to flash over the Shuriken so that he could set up the play, and then instead the Shuriken just hit him.
Well, Mega Inferno Bomb has come down. The arrow is going to go wide as now Lahen's trying to get them out of there, but that is going to be a kill confirmed. Nicely done on the 1-for-1.
Chovy.
Kill going to Lahen's isn't the greatest, but now Chovy coming on in here. Exhaust just to make sure that Delight's not going to have an avenue of escape, and the Pulverize to keep him in position. That's going to be another one, and Chovy on the board now for Gen G, and that is dangerous.
Bit unfortunate as we take another look at the play from the first-person view. Oh, yeah.
Man.
Pretty nicely done. So that is all. That's
not a Drift today, but yeah, Swift Drift. We have had one already, and watching Lilia's run that fast is a whole lot of fun. As Keen will be able to clear out this ward, Canyon now knows that he is not going to be seen. Throwing bowling balls around. That was a weird one. Just throws it into a wall. That's fine. Ward goes down, and he's going to see whether it can be 4 grubs to go over to Gen G right now. You can see Peanut not quite getting there in time, as this ward will get turned off.
Just the one, I imagine.
Yeah, so Canyon going to be getting out of here. Chovy and Lehens moving on over. All right, some bowling ball value coming on in, as Doran not exactly with the highest of health bars. But this should belong to Peanut at this point in time.
You see as well, Viper was on his way over, and then as soon as Paige showed them bot wave, immediately decided the better of it is Paige is going to get the shove, and they're going to actually contest here. Paige does have his ultimate.
Ebapov does come in. The arrow is going to connect. The buffer is gorgeous once again. As the redemption coming down here. That is a dead cow and a dead Chovy as well. Viper just walks on over, and they will be able to take them both down. Plates now being eaten by Pays on the bottom side, but there's a teleport in from Zeka. Let's see whether Pays can keep himself alive here, because this burst damage is kind of obscene. There's the mini stun, as Pays, I think, is just dead. Mega Inferno Bomb comes down, and there's the last auto. Zeka's going to be able to lock that one up.
We'll see. Keen might not be able to get him. Look, Poppy's on the way. Oh, never mind. Another TP. He's dead.
Yeah, now he's very, very big dead. As probably didn't want to give Chovy the assist. He flashed it. And the explosive charge is not enough, so he's just going to back, and he's going to be fine. Keeper's verdict came out as well. I don't even think it was necessary.
It was not. Colossal wins here across the board for Hanwha, as they're able to pick up a bunch of kills, get to 4 grubs. The only thing they're going to have to give up is the dragon.
Moment. These have gone back to being a little bit rough. This is still going to be a second Drake that they're going to be able to pick up for themselves. It's going to be big, as Canyon is able to lock that one down.
Again?
And yeah, that's another Hextech Drake. Oh my goodness.
I know it's my favorite Drake in the game, but I was hoping for Swift Rift.
Yeah, Swift Rift would have been cool. But at least we get the fun teleporters and stuff, and that's cool.
I do love it when there's a cannon in the game. So,
yeah, he face checks, sees some bad guys, and he is going to try and get himself out of there. And we'll be able to hold on to this turret at least for the moment. The gold lead that we were talking about before that was triple digits has now moved up to 4, as the arrow not going to get buffered this time, but also doesn't really need to because he's underneath the turret. There's not a lot of follow-up. And Chovy will just absorb what experience he can, call in his brothers to come down and help him out. Doran going to be the benefactor of this, though, up in that top lane, not with too many cares in the world, as Peanut will move over to try and defend this. The redemption goes down. It's going to be avoided here. Doesn't really do anything, though, as Pays and Canyon should just be able to lock this one up, and the satchel will just come in and pop it like a balloon. Nicely done. Doran gets another wave and will finally be able to take down this outer turret in the top lane, but I would have thought that he'd be able to actually get that one first.
Very understandable. That is now a 2K gold lead. Mid lane turret, I imagine, on the cards here, because yes, there is a Ziggs with great wave clear, but there is also a Herald, and Peanut, he's drifting.
He's going to be able to make his way in there, and there it is. This outer turret, not long for the world. So that is going to be Viper helping pick that one up. Shelly doesn't survive for very long, but that doesn't matter. She did her job.
Okay.
We try not to talk about. We celebrate the fact that we have a lower bracket now, so there's theoretically another final. All right, King going a little bit aggressive here, as Chovy going to jump in on top, and that was a flash that you could do. Not the greatest of ones, as Canyon's going to be over there anyway, so I guess the consolation for Doran is the fact that if he had have made that flash actually work, he would have still been really dead.
Ziggs with... It's not going to matter. I don't think it makes a big difference.
It's just going to be a very rough time, as Lehens is taking a lot of damage. Chovy looking for a bit of an angle here, as that's 50 gold going over to Pays. Canyon is in the bottom lane. We'll be able to at least pull that wave out.
Yeah, we're letting this one go.
Yeah, it looks like this is not going to be the one that they're looking for. Still.
No, I think they're just threatening so that Home Alive don't send someone over too soon. And there we go. TP comes in. Yep, Chovy gets some damage down, but not going to take the turret. Nice TP there from Doran.
All right, Canyon thinking about a little bit of an angle here, as they do have the option of putting Delight and Peanut to sleep. They're not exactly priority targets here, as Zeka is going to be able to help this wave move up. And by help this wave, I mean the wave isn't there because Ziggs. Yes. Delight decides that he wants to kill someone right now. That is going to be Canyon tanking the first salvo. He's going to flash away. Light goes down to half health, but they get the flash out from Canyon. That's probably what they were looking for.
That's a really big win. They don't invest too much themselves, only using the Ignite and the arrow, which both, or the arrow at least will be up. But Canyon not having flash available, I think, is actually a really big deal.
All right, well, there is Lehen's making his way in. Good satchel there as well onto Viper. Mega Inferno Bomb to take him down. And now we're slicing forward. Keen looking for Peanut, doesn't get him, but they get so many flashes out of this play. Only Doran and Zeka with those available. Oh no, Genji, don't do it again. It's not Baron time.
I don't actually. This time, I think they really can't do it.
All right, well, maybe they just killed Delight instead, as the satchel was gorgeous. Still Delight making his move out the flash forward, and Chovy says you are not getting away this time. Him and Pays, they're the yordles on this rift, and Doran, he's trying to get himself out. More explosive charges being thrown around, donated towards this little cannon. And let's see whether Doran can actually get out of here. Keen might be able to find a stun on top of him. The teleport will get him out. And Genji, I don't think they're going to be doing Baron, but they are going to win the fight. Okay, so Soul Point is being picked up here by Genji. Looks like that's going to be given up on, though, because Humble Life Esports are trying to take this Baron. Chovy is almost here. But Genji, they're looking for a flank angle. We're going to try and get Keen in here. Yeah, and it looks like it's not going to be 50-50able. Especially with these minefields that can be put down, things like this. Is now Chovy going to try and transfer this into a push in mid as Viper once again caught out of position. Mega Inferno Bomb going to take him down. And Genji will have them corralled. Doran in trouble. It's Yordle v Yordle. And Doran will be taken out of this one. That is Chovy finding another reset. Hops back over the wall. Keen might just be dead, but they still have to try and flash away. Canyon walks forward, spins around a little bit. It was a cute pirouette, but now it's time for a cute Baron for Genji.
History repeats itself, Atlas. All Genji need are a single fight. And it looks like the Baron not going to go.
Not going to be there. Okay. Yeah. And it doesn't feel fantastic, so that is going to be Genji locking down Soul Point, like you were talking about.
Because I was
have had a lot of control on this Baron side river, as the arrow going to be buffered there once again. Chovy has been excellent at that. And that was even with Keen kind of moving out of the way so that he had to do it quite late, but still. Nicely done. Get the setup, they are still very dangerous. Having a look down the line, I mean, CS numbers still very, very even in the jungle, as... Speaking of the jungle, Peanut could be in trouble here. Mega Inferno Bomb, and that is Peanut staying alive. Never mind. It's all too easy. Is Doran just going to get jumped on? Oh, God, that's a jump scare. It scared even me. That's a solo kill for Chovy. And sometimes you're just not allowed to be walking there. It's so unfair. It's going to be the Baron now started up. Let's see whether Humble Life Esports can actually find an angle here. There's a teleport up for Doran. That is a big deal because he might be able to affect this player's Keen. Already out of here. He's already teleported in as well. What? And he buffers the keeper's verdict. Are you kidding me? The Baron is going to be secured here by Genji, but now...
OTP.
This could be the TP angle as Keen. Mega Inferno Bomb. He's going to take him down in the turn. It was just not good enough. They take out Pays, but Chovy's like, oh, you want more, good sir? Yes. Don't mind if I do, as unfortunately Zeka a little bit too late to this one. So the Baron does go down, and Chovy showed us that you can indeed buffer a keeper's verdict.
Atlas
of the regular season, and you know what, maybe, okay, playoffs can make it up to us, right? If we get only 5 gamers, then I will forgive you, LCK, for this day of not 6 games. That's how they'll earn it. As, oh God, Zeka taking so much damage here. Lehans finds himself alone, and Daisy's getting annoying. A circle does come down behind them, but Humble Life Esports do that walk strategy, and that is going to get them out of the way. This
Look at that!
Disgusting.
That's not fair!
What is going on? The Lilting Lullaby comes on down there as well, as they're looking for Peanut. Now find him. Not able to buffer it is Chovy, so he's going to be traded. But look at the Hextech Soul, man. It doesn't matter if they lose multiple members. They still just can't stick around.
They're getting pelted by orbs and lightning.
There's
That's
so
fair.
many orbs. You are so right about the orb problem.
Another orb.
Yeah, another orb. Zeka's going to have to go home. He's going to write an angry email about the spheres. All right, Mega Inferno Bomb, that's a circle. That's not an orb. It's still very scary, though, as Viper is going to get exhausted. That's not going to keep Lahens... Oh, never mind, it is going to keep Lahens alive, because of course it does. Viper is going to show mercy to his former teammate, as this inhibitor is also going to go down. So Genji, 2 inhibs. Elder is going to be up in 4 minutes' time, but I don't know whether the game is going to be up in 4 minutes' time, because if the cannon can actually get there, teleports at the ready, as Genji, they're going to start the fight. No Pulverize going to be found here as Lahens already going down low. The Redemption does a lot of work, and into the backline goes Doran. No exhaust to come in really at the beginning of that one, but still just no damage. And Chovy going to stand his ground. Look at the health bars. They are still up. They're alive, but it just feels like for not that much longer. The most dangerous cupcakes are raining from the sky. And Genji, they push them away, but not actually able to get any kills. Just almost every flash and summon a spell under the sun.
This is why we value Hextech Soul so highly. Every single time you can see the chip them. Oh, what? What? Yeah, it's level 18 Ziggs Atlas.
Yeah, okay, that's a good point. Did he actually, was he in auto range for a short fuse? Was that what made him go boom? All right, Headbutt Pulve is going to connect there onto Doran. Mega Inferno Bomb comes down. Doran might want to... Oh, God! Thankfully, he's so short. He's able to walk underneath the bouncing bomb.
He saw it go above his head!
Yep, and I do have to let everyone know that even if he was a taller champion, it still wouldn't have hit him. That's just how the ability works, but that's still fine. It's what it looked like to me.
Oh, and wait. Yeah, you have to... Well, it's not going to work, but you have to try.
Yeah, sometimes you got to go for the cheeky Eld angle. This is the cheeky win the game. That's the strategy that they're looking for. Another teleport to come in. Another teleport to come in as Canyon, watch out, Eep. And Second turns up almost dead. He does have to cleanse, but he can't cleanse death as the Nexus turrets are going to be going down once again. Genji looking like another 2-0 in the books here, and it's looking like they're going to successfully break their own record when it comes to game score as well. 32 at the end of this season. Yeah. Everyone's basically an old teammate, though, on this particular team. As Keen didn't do a lot of damage, neither did Canyon. It was all about Pays and Chovy. 1,200 points, man. Imagine. I expect...
Thank you very much, guys. This is Jason for the post-match interview translation. And first up, we are going to be joined by the entire Genji players as they close out the summer regular season. Please welcome Keen, Canyon, Chovy, Pays, and Lehan. Congratulations on the win today. Thank you. To start off, Keen. It was the first and second place showdown as the last match of the regular season. How was it? I think we are ending the season on a very good note with a clean 2-0. It feels amazing. And in that series, in the first game, you brought out a pocket pick, Nasus. And finally, he was able to get a win after more than 2,000 days. How did it happen? Well, we were not actually planning for a Nasus game, but somehow we were in the situation where Nasus could be viable, and we shoot our shot, and it kind of worked. And your first championship in the spring finals is still fresh in our minds, but what are your thoughts and resolution heading into summer playoffs? Yeah, winning my first title in the spring finals was amazing. I hope I can repeat it. Now moving on to Canyon. Today we are going up against Hana Life, a team you might face in the playoffs as well. What did you and Genji focus on while preparing? We wanted to analyze what kind of play Hana Life prefers to make. So we wanted to kind of come up with the right reaction or right kind of play to deal with those.
니달리 지금 10승 1패 중인데요. 또 나서스와 함께
And you also won a POG on Nidalee, and your Nidalee now have a 10-1 record here in the summer season. What was the synergy with Nasus to get together today like? It was easier to lend my spears because of the weather. So Genji has about 10 days left until your playoffs match. How do you plan to prepare? So we are heading into a new patch. So we have about a 10-day period. So we will make sure to come up with the best strategy and kind of drafting with the new version of the patch. Now moving on to Chovy.
LCK 최다 득실차 기록까지
Along
달성을
with
했습니다.
winning the final match of the regular season, Genji also set a new LCK record for the game score. How do you feel? Of course, winning feels amazing. Also, I heard that we broke the record about game differential, but it doesn't really have much to do with our ultimate goal. So I just want to keep moving forward. Genji picked up a solid 2-0 win up against Hana Life today. What do you consider to be Genji's biggest strengths right now? I think all 5 players are good at League of Legends, and we are all on the same page. So map play and macro decisions are also one step ahead of the opponent. Also, our team fight is so on point, so I think everyone is so well-rounded, and that is our strength. Then what is Genji's goal this playoffs? So we managed to write new history by winning 4 straight titles in a row. I hope we can continue that to 5 titles. Now let's hear from Paige. This summer must have been meaningful for you as well. You reached 1,000 kills in the LCK and also won the Player Up to Split award. Looking back, how do you feel? I think throughout the entire regular season, everything went so smooth. So I had so much fun, playing the matches, and it's amazing that I get to also hit a lot of milestones. Today's match was, first place versus second place. So what were the key points that you focused on? As a bot lane player, I focus on the bottom lane matchup, and I'm happy with how it turned out. Then, what is your mindset going into the playoffs? So we are going to be playing on a new patch, so I think finding the right tier list will be the key. I hope we can do our preparation correctly and continue the momentum in great form in the playoffs too. And last but not least, Lehans. How do you feel about the 2-0 win up against Hana Life? Recently, Hana Life showcased a great momentum, so I was a little nervous heading into the match, but it feels amazing to get a 2-0. So, with the playoffs approaching, how much confidence have you gained throughout the regular season? To be honest, same as usual, because playoffs is a whole new kind of tournament. So I think we have to, be fully prepared and, still play with our confidence. So you are just 5 assists away from achieving the milestone of 5,000 assists in the LCK, becoming the first support and only the second player in the LCK history to do so. Well, I guess I've been playing for such a long time, but I think we will keep working hard and doing our best, and I will look forward to our fans' continuous support. And before we go, Lehans, as the team's captain, anything you want to say to the Jeju fans? So we are, continuing a great run, but personally, myself has a long way to go. So I will keep working hard. Also, I will be looking forward to the fans' continuous support as well. Thank you. One more time, congratulations on the win today, and I will look forward to seeing your performance in the playoffs as well. Now, shortly after, we will be joined by the Hana Life Esports players who just had their final match of the summer regular season.
정말 멋진 모습을 보여준 하나생명 선수분들 바로 이어서 만나서 인터뷰
Please
나눠보도록
welcome
하겠습니다.
Doran, Peanut, Zeka, Viper, and Delight, who have been working their
네,
best
하나생명
until the
e스포츠
very end
선수분들
of the
만나서
season.
인터뷰 나눠보도록 하겠습니다.
Thank you so much for
도란,
joining
피넛,
the interview,
제카,
and
바이퍼,
please
딜라이트
give them a
선수입니다.
warm round of
안녕하세요.
applause.
네, 도란 선수 먼저 이야기 나눠보도록 하겠습니다.
도란.
자, 오늘 이제 정규 시즌
Now,
마지막
today
경기를
marks
마무리하셨고요.
the last
2위로
day
최종
of the summer regular
마무리하셨는데요.
season,
소감 들어보고
and
싶습니다.
Hana Life secured second place. How was today's match, and how was the summer season? So we just had our last match right before the playoffs, and I wish we could have won the final match, but sadly we were underperforming. I'm not really happy with how it turned
정규
out.
시즌 내내 정말 좋은 모습들 많이 보여주셨는데
However,
혹시 다가오는 플레이오프에서
your
좀
regular
개선하고
season
싶으신
performance was
부분들이
so on
있는지
point. So,
들어보겠습니다.
what areas would you like to improve as you head into the playoffs? What stands out the most is, some of the mistakes that I made in the series today, and I really have to get rid of those mistakes.
플레이오프에서의 더 멋진 모습 기대해 보도록 하겠습니다. 여러분 큰 박수 부탁드립니다. 피넛 선수 만나보도록 하겠습니다.
Now
자,
moving
피넛
on to
선수 정규
Peanut.
시즌 마지막 경기를 마치셨습니다. 1, 2위 대결이었기 때문에 더욱더 중요하게
Today's match
생각하지
was the
않으셨을까
final
생각이
one of the
드는데요.
summer
어떤 점을
regular
가장
season, and
중요하게
it was first
생각하셨을까요?
place versus second place. What did you focus on the most? Pretty much everything, Today was a very important match, and what happened is what happened, And this match didn't really have anything to do with our final standings, so I hope everyone can just move on, not to rethink about what happened today too much. And I think based on the mistakes and weaknesses that we displayed today, we will be able to kind of improve on those aspects and come back with a better performance in the playoffs. Then looking back at the summer season, what stands out the most to you? Well, this summer, I think everyone worked so well and played at their best level. So because of that, we were able to secure second place already, even before the match today. So I think everyone did their best. And I believe, regular season and playoffs is a whole different tournament. So you really have to do your best in the playoffs. So I want to make sure to, advance as much as possible in the playoffs.
이어서 제카 선수 만나보겠습니다. 자, 제카 선수 정규 시즌 마무리하셨습니다.
And now
서머
Zeka.
돌아보면 좀 어떠신지
The summer season has come to an end. How do you feel looking back at the season? We had so many stuff happening starting from the first week, but I think we were able to kind of close out the regular season on a very decent note. So I want to say good job to everyone. You guys also have long days until the playoffs, so what are your expectations? Whoever we get to face, we still have to kind of display the best performance we've got. So as we go back to the team house, I want to kind of go over to the match we had today and trying to spot any mistakes and weaknesses that we showed and get rid of those. Now, Viper, how do you feel looking back on the summer season? I think it went by really fast. Thankfully, I was able to play with such a great teammates and had a great time together. Everyone is so good at, good at it. So I hope we can all keep up the good work. So Hana Life finished the regular season in second place. What are your goals heading into the playoffs? So regular season just ended, but playoff is just about to start. So we have to wait and see who our opponent will be. But whoever it's gonna be, we have to play better than we did today. I hope we can do better than today for sure.
바이퍼 선수에게도 큰 박수 부탁드립니다. 그리고 딜라이트 선수 만나보도록
And then
하겠습니다.
moving on to
딜라이트
Delight.
선수 정규 시즌 마지막 경기를 마치신 소감 먼저 들어보겠습니다.
You just had your last match of the regular season. How was it? Too bad that we lost the last one, but we have time to kind of go over it. So I hope we can come back stronger for the playoffs. You've been exceptional all season long with your flawless initiation. What can we expect from you and Hana Life in the playoffs? We will make sure to come back with a cleaner performance, I hope we can get rid of all of the mistakes that we made throughout the regular season. And finally, as the team's captain, Peanut, anything you want to say to the Hana Life fans before we go?
어쨌든 팬분들 덕분에
Thanks to you guys, we were able to have a great run throughout the summer season despite the bad start. So I really appreciate your continuous support. Thanks to you, we are ending on the second place, and we are, having a head start in the playoffs. Actually, we're starting from the round 2, and the season is not over yet. So I will look forward to your support, and we promise to also showcase the best out of the Hana Life. Now that will be the end of the post-match interview from the Hana Live Esports players, and back to the space. Thank you.